Give me your teeth, another bashing ring.
They're my teeth. I can show you the bill.
Suit yourself. How's the fluff in there?
Bloody filth on the northern line of token horse. That's one of them sweets. Takes the taste of the dust out of me mouth.
Right, well, that is £1 and 75 pennies.
Oh, damn, I'm 45p short. Will tonight be all right?
Sorry, love, house rule.
Oh, suit yourself, you miserable old sod. Here, just give me them sweets. You can stick that back on the shelf.
Look, if I make one exception,
Oh,
I have to make two.
it. Here. It's all there. You don't have to bite the coins.
Do you want a bag?
What, and pay extra? Give them here. I'll miss me bus.
£60p.
And another £4.
Eh?
I gave you £5.
Yeah, what's your game?
You just put it in the till, £5.
Have I? And you've got the serial number, I suppose?
I don't need it. Look, it's there on top.
On your bike, Sambo.
Okay.
Hey! Hey! Put that back, you thieving little...
You're the thief, not me.
Right, chocolate. Put back the chocolate. Get off!
Thank God. Thought I was a goner. When Wildy came at me with a bottle just because I was trying to stop him nicking me stock. You saw that, Mr. Croft, didn't you?
Any sign?
No.
Oh, well, it's a bit early yet.
You're going to be late.
So?
Second day running.
Well, I can make up the time. Did you fry bread?
No, I'm not hungry.
Well, that's what you said last night. Come 3 in the morning, you were prowling the house eating digestives.
I didn't mean to wake you up.
No, I couldn't sleep either. I heard you drop the lid of the biscuit tin.
Oh, look, Mum, why don't you just get off to work? I promise I'll phone you the moment there's any news.
No, it's not the same. I want to be here.
In case it's bad.
It won't be bad. Here. Come on. Get this down here.
Oh, I can't.
Oh.
No, give it here. I'm just like Dave's mum.
What?
Mrs. Isaacs, any problems, stuff him with grub.
You say Colin and Ian got theirs yesterday?
That's right.
Perhaps they come in batches, alphabetically.
What, Colin Taylor and Ian Wilson?
Just a thought.
Oh, for God's sake, Mum, leave it out.
What?
The mother hen bit. For once in your life, just let me be able to... I'll go. It's come. These are for you.
Steve? May I? Oh, Steve, English grade A, history grade A, French grade B. Oh,
tea.
Well, I did warn you my French was a bit comme ci,
Oh,
comme ça.
it is marvellous. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Oh, God, I think I'm going to cry. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to try to fix my face again. Oh, I told you I knew it would be. And Queen Anne's fan of Bob Croft.
Oh, I see. You're just relieved you can hold your head up at work.
Oh, no, of course not. It's just that I've been driving them potty with the suspense for days. What are you doing lunchtime?
Well, I don't know. Mooching, I suppose.
Well, mooch on down to Seven Dials. I'll buy you a big drink. Or we'll invite Peter and Jake and have a real beano.
Oh, why not? You mean they thought I was going to screw it up too?
No, of course not. About 12:30, all right?
OK.
Oh, my son, the genius, is feeding his face. Genius.
Now, that man is going to need 6 or 7 stitches in his head, and from what I saw...
What do you think you saw?
No, I know what I saw, and it'll all be in my report, which brings us back to you being in big trouble.
So you keep saying.
Hello, Mr. Russell. It's Steve Forbes. I just wanted to let you know Mum's on her way in.
Fine. You get your results?
Yeah, she waited on a bit for the post.
Worth waiting for? Results worth being late for?
Oh, yes. Well, yes, I think she thinks so.
Well, I'm relieved to hear it. No doubt I'll get chapter and verse from her later. Anyway, congratulations.
Well, I hope you go easy on her if she overdoes the proud mum act.
Yeah, I'll try and make allowances. Anyway, Steve, if that's all.
Look, Mum's having a bit of a do at lunchtime to celebrate. And as I'll be down there, I wondered if I might have a bit of a chat.
Yeah, fine. That's assuming I get an invite.
No, sir. I mean a private chat.
A private chat? Well, that could be a bit difficult.
Well, I would appreciate it. It's just that I need another man's advice, and I'd rather Mum didn't know about it.
Well, it all sounds a bit cloak and dagger. Yeah, all right. I'll see what I can do. Sometime this afternoon, yeah?
Oh, great. I wouldn't bother you, but...
It's no bother. It's just that we'll have to choose our time a bit careful. Sometime after lunch, yeah?
Right, thanks. Goodbye.
What do you mean, not bad? It's fantastic. Yes. Look, I know you're on late turn, but if you want to pop into the tank at lunchtime, I'm buying, OK? Oh, can't you? Oh, yes, I see. Well, try not to get too much non-drip gloss in your hair. OK, Jake, I'll see you. Cheers. Good morning.
Is it? Hadn't noticed. Mrs. Freeman.
What?
Mrs. Freeman. Clock. A few months back.
Wait a minute. Oh, yes, a woman had a valuable antique clock stolen. Yes, I remember. I think we've got a photograph somewhere. Why?
Just had this bump in from the yard. List of goods recovered from a garage in Hornsey. Item 446, Louis XV Ormolu Cartel clock 30 inches high after the manner of Charles Cresson.
Yeah, could be. That'd be a great thing, judging by the photograph. I wouldn't give it house room.
Oh, 2 inches, eh? Give her a bell, would you? Tell her she'll be required to go over and identify it. Oh, and while I think of it, I want you, Bob, and young, what's his name, my office, about 11:30. Bit of stock taking, yes?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Steve, get his results?
Yes, this morning.
Good?
Fantastic. You'll never believe
Tell me
it. He
later.
actually got... Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Come on then, laddie. Speak up.
Well, it's only a suggestion, sir, but with all due respect...
Oh, I like it. Yes, Uriah, heat me all you like, laddie. Go on.
Yeah, well, perhaps he feels a natural hostility to you, I mean, being the arresting officer. So I thought...
You'd like to have a go on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, good thinking. Away you go, then. Oh, before you do, get me a coffee, will you, Maggie?
What? Oh, yes, white, no sugar. Thanks, Peter.
He's shaping up.
Yes, he's keen. I was like that once. Steve got
You know,
his
there's an
exams.
interesting case downstairs. Found him battering hell out of a newsagent on the way to work.
Oh, interesting. Why interesting?
Well, he's black, very well spoken, and refuses to give his name and address.
What's the charge?
Probably with violence, for starters. You know, it's a...
Steve got 3 A-levels. Good ones.
Great. Mind you, never could see much point in collecting useless bits of paper.
Useless?
Oh, come on, Maggie. There are kids out there with first-class degrees on dole queues. What do you think of A-levels, Sergeant?
How do you mean, sir?
Well, are they of any use to you?
Well, a bit of a sweat at the time, but I'm glad I got them.
That's not what I asked.
My son's got 3.
Oh, that's terrific, ma'am. You must be well pleased.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I'm having a little celebration in the tank at lunchtime if you care to join us.
Oh, yeah, fine, sure.
Wasn't there something about you wanting another go at our friend downstairs?
Yeah, well, I just
There's
thought...
no time like the present, is there?
Right, sir.
How many did you get?
What?
A-level.
4, sir.
Mrs. Freeman, D.I. Forbes, 7 Dials. Good morning.
Did they bring you some refreshment?
Yes.
All right.
Adequate.
I'll tell the chef. Oh.
No, thank you.
Something amuses you.
Nice try. Your idea or his?
Whose?
Croft, is it?
Inspector Croft, yeah, what idea?
To send you to soften me up.
No, that was my idea.
All right. Winston Mandela, 245 Heneage Road.
Well, that's a bit more like it.
Which only leaves the white wheel nicked from Blair & Sons, fridges, freezers, washing machines. Anything?
I put out a few wanted posters and just had a call from Jacko Thomas.
Promising?
Better be. Got to meet at the Grapes lunchtime.
Right, keep at it. Maggie, you seen this report? Just give it back to young Phillips. My compliments. Tell him it's gobbledygook. What's he done? Swallowed a dictionary?
I think he believes it pays to improve your word power. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, are the 2 F's inefficacious?
Still, it makes a change from I was proceeding in a westerly direction.
Yeah, we'll just get him to redo it, eh? And try to explain that no one ever won a Nobel Prize for Literature writing a report on a break-in at Safeways. When's he due back?
He shouldn't be long. He's checking out our friend downstairs' address.
Our gentleman chocolate thief. What do you think?
Well, I haven't seen him. It's Bob.
Phillips thinks that he's intransigent.
He would. Is he?
Now, there's more to it than that. See, I just can't seem to make him understand that he's in serious trouble. It's as if he doesn't believe me or just doesn't care.
Why don't you have a word? Huh?
Well, yeah, if you think it'll be
Sure,
any help.
any tips?
Well, he tries to give the impression he's very laid back about the whole thing. But I reckon he's so uptight he's liable to implode. I mean, he didn't resist arrest, had no ID, but did have just over 18 quid on him.
Oh, so if he was flush, why did he steal
6 bars, yeah. I'll get the newsagent's statement this afternoon, if he's up to it. I mean, he was a bit groggy last time I saw him.
Right, sort it out among you. Yeah, that's it,
Right,
isn't it?
okay.
Oh, either of you fancy playing Aunt Sally at a student debate on the role of police in the erosion of democracy? No? It could prove instructive. Did you know we were being used as cat's paws by a fascist elite?
I wonder what have been giving me those headaches. No, thanks.
I pass.
Oh, Maggie. I've got a dash over to Vine Street. May not be back in time, so, yeah, get a round in for me, would you?
Oh, thanks. How did you know?
Oh, come on, it's all at the station.
Oh, good news travels fast. Thanks, sir. Right, then. I'll go downstairs and have a word with, what's his name?
Mandela. Winston Mandela. That's one I owe you.
Well, look, if Steve comes before I'm back, you won't belittle his efforts.
Oh, Maggie, what do you take me
What
for?
you said before.
I was pulling your leg. Joke?
Oh, how bloody hell.
Watch where you bloody...
Fire!
Sorry, ma'am. That patronising little sod downstairs has just had me traipse halfway across South London to a false address.
Young Winston.
Oh, yeah, if that's his real name, which I doubt. Who will it turn out to be?
Well, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
It's all right, brother. Do, please, sit down. Now, I'm Detective Inspector Forbes. Right, now, what do we know about you so far? Your name is Winston Mandela, and you live in a multi-story car park in Woolwich. You have lovely manners. You like practical jokes and chocolate. Well, that's a start, isn't it?
All right, if the inspector's some waits in here, sir.
Oh, yeah, fine. Hello, Steve. Bob Croft. We've spoken on the phone. You know Sergeant Phillips?
Hello. Right.
Well, who's a clever boy, then?
No, not again. Everybody in the nick's on about it.
Shall I get you some coffee?
Oh, yes, thanks. Milk, 3 sugars. He had a bit of bother then. In the newsagent's round the corner.
Phillips been filling you in, has he?
No, I was in there just now. A man with plaster on his head was telling some woman all about it.
Was he now?
It was a bit odd, though.
How?
Well, it seems she was in the shop just before the robbery. Said she hadn't noticed the bloke who did it.
Yeah, so, what's odd? She's no help.
Ah, but he wanted to say that she had, and that the black chap was acting suspiciously.
Well, well. What'd she say?
She just said that she didn't see anything and she didn't want to get involved.
Right.
Here you go. Bit Luke, I'm afraid. Still, your mum shouldn't be long. Then we can have something a bit more convivial, eh?
Oh, thanks. Oh, I'm not so sure that this is a good idea.
Hey?
I don't know that my son's old enough to frequent boozes. I'm not going to get away with being 32 anymore.
So, you married at 12?
Oh, this lad will go far. Here's to you, love.
Yeah. Congratulations.
And Bill Russell sends his, and Jake.
Thanks.
I'm going to start saving up.
What for?
Well, I'll have to do a bit better than this when you get your degree. Well, I fancy London. I mean, if you can live at home, it'll help eat the grant out.
Yeah. Ah, you want me to get that?
Oh, no, it's all right. I told him I'd be here. If our Joker changed his mind, I shan't be as sexy if you can make him see sense.
Sense about what?
Mum's all set for me to go to London University.
You don't fancy London?
No. University.
Right. We'll be adding assault on a police officer to the list of charges, as well as wasting police time. Now, do you want to throw something at me and go for broke?
I'm sorry, I just lost my temper. I'm sorry. My parents will pay for any damage.
Does that mean you're going to stop being stupid and tell me who they are?
Yes. Mr. and Mrs. Livesey, 26 Kennington Terrace.
And your name?
Mark. Mark Livesey.
Constable, is interview 2 occupied?
Yes, I believe it is, madam.
Right, take this young man down to the cell and get someone to clean this mess up.
I hope he finds someone at home. My parents are busy people.
And you haven't told her yet?
No.
She'll have to know sooner or later.
Yeah, I know. I just never seem to find the right moment. That's why I want to see Mr. Russell this afternoon. You won't say anything?
Of course not. I hope she's back. Yeah, English was my best subject too. I just had the gift for words.
Steve, love, I'm sorry.
Now, where have I heard that
Yes,
before?
I know, love, but something's come up. His name is Mark Livesey, and he just clobbered a constable with his lunch. But I think we have his real name and address now, so I think we'll have a word with his parents. It's in Kennington, love. We can give you a lift.
It's okay. As I'm up west, I'll have a look round the
Oh,
shops.
well, here, take some money. We'll pop into the deli on your way home and see if you can buy something special for supper.
My treat.
Okay. See you, love. God bless you.
Cheers.
No, he hasn't been charged. No statement. Yes, he's all right. He hasn't been hurt. No, 7 dials. What time does the court rise? Not till then. Oh, my God, that'll mean you won't be back in time till after 6. Right. Yes, right, I will. But you will get back as soon as you can. All right. How's the case? My husband's defending 2 boys in Oxford Crown Court. He won't be back till... Oh, my God, I can't believe it. I ring up Kennington Police Station to tell them Mark's been missing all night, and 10 minutes later you arrive and tell me... Is he all right?
Mrs. Livesey, he's fine.
Well, where is he? Is he in a cell? How long has he been there?
Your son was arrested at...
Approximately 7:45 this morning, ma'am.
Oh, my God, that's 6 hours. Why in God's name didn't you let me know
He's
sooner?
only just decided to give us his real name and address.
Yeah, we wasted a fair chunk of those 6 hours traipsing across London to a false address.
Has he been fed?
Your son was offered lunch. He threw it at a constable.
Oh, no, I don't believe it. No, Mark's a gentle boy. You're making out to be some kind of thug. Oh, my husband asked me to ask you. Was anyone there when he was interrogated?
When your son was questioned, another officer was present at all times.
No. I mean a probation officer, a social
What, is
worker.
he on probation?
Well, of course not. I just wondered if there was anyone there to represent his interest as a juvenile.
Mrs. Livesey, your son refused to give his age.
Well, surely you must have realized he was a juvenile.
Well, no, it's hard to tell.
I see. If they're black and suspect, they all look alike.
No, Mrs. Livesey, that's not what I meant. Your son is intelligent and very articulate. He seems very mature for his age. I naturally assumed he was older.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Yes, it's true. Mark's got 11 O-levels. We want him to go to Cambridge. Oh, that's what makes all this so pointless.
Well, Mrs. Livesey, if you'd
Oh,
like...
yes, right. I'll get my coat. I must just leave a note for Mrs. Baker. She's my housekeeper. She'll be worried.
I got you in a large whiskey, sir.
Fine. So, what is all this?
It's good of you to spare me the time.
You've got 5 minutes. Look, Steve, I don't like going behind your mother's back, pretending I knew nothing about your exam results, etc., skulking about. Nearly dropped a ricket earlier when I offered to stand my corner. Cheers. So, what's your problem?
I want to go to Hendon.
So, what's your problem?
I think Mum's against it.
Think?
Well, I haven't actually told her yet.
Why involve me?
Well, I want to know what you think.
About what?
Whether I should.
Should what? Tell her?
Go to Hendon.
All right. Why do you want to become a copper?
Well, I just want to do the job.
Oh, come on, Steve, you're going to have to do better than that. First question they'll ask you at the interview. That's if you get that far.
You mean I might not?
It's not automatic, no. Look, your dad was on the force, your mother's very highly regarded, but that doesn't make it a family business. You ain't going to get any favors.
I'm not looking for any.
Just as long as you realize that. All right, let's start again. What makes you think you'll make a good copper?
Well, know a lot about the job already, and, well, I work bloody hard to make a go of it, all right?
It's a bit better. But tell me something. How are you going to cope when it comes to collaring villains if you haven't even got the balls to tell your mother you want to do the job?
Right, now, Mrs. Livesey, would you like to sit down? I won't keep you a moment. Oh, thank you. Please, be seated. Peter, will you check we've got an interview room free and then get young Mark up from the cell? So I want to know if Bob Croft's back yet.
Right, ma'am. What do you reckon?
I don't know. I remembered her husband coming back in the car. Yes, he's a barrister. He specialises in ethnic minorities, civil rights, that sort of thing.
Trouble.
Yeah, could be.
You want my advice? You tell her. Tonight, certainly, before you apply to Hendon.
I've already sent in my application form.
That's it, then, isn't it? You've blown it.
Why?
Police training college have to be careful who they accept, yes? Your application form goes in, they'll spend a few weeks checking it. Now, obviously, they're going to learn who you are from what happened to your dad, then they'll contact Maggie and see how she feels. Any parental objection, they're going to take that into consideration.
Damn.
So, the sooner you make a clean breast of it, the better. If they approach Maggie before you've talked to her, she could give a thumbs down.
Can she do that?
What do you think?
I'll tell her tonight.
You better add. Otherwise, you ain't going to make it to the interview.
You still haven't said whether you think I'd be right for the job.
Oh, come on, Steve. You're trying to put me on the spot. Now, don't. You make up your own mind you want to do the job, and to hell with anybody else's opinion. Okay, so it's a big decision for you, but you know as well as I do, half police work depends on people being able to take decisions. Now, if you can't take that sort of pressure...
Then I should go to university.
Well, if that sounds unsympathetic, yes.
No, it sounds honest. Thanks. I'm sorry I bothered you, sir, but, well, I can't ask Dad, and I did need another man's advice. I must go.
Look, Steve...
But I'll tell her tonight. Bye.
We adopted Mark when he was 4.
13 years ago.
Yes, it must be. David and I are always forgetting to explain to strangers. Well, you do after all that time.
Ready when you are, ma'am.
Right, Mrs. Lizzie.
I don't want to seem, but does your sergeant have to be there?
Well, no, not if you feel that Mark will talk more freely.
Well, I am his mother.
Yes. Oh, excuse me just one moment, Miss Lizzie. I want to know the minute that Bob Croft gets back with that statement from the newsagent.
Right, ma'am.
And I've got a little job for you. The general feeling is that you're intoxicated with the exuberance of your own verbosity. You know what I mean?
I'll rewrite it.
Right, Victor.
How's the head?
Throbbing a bit.
Yeah, shouldn't you be at home?
Who'd mind the store?
Have you not got any help?
Take on one, I'd go broke. Do you know how much I pay in rates?
Hefty, I should imagine, this area.
Too true. SPQR.
Huh?
Small profit, quick return. Only you have to do 14 hours a day to get it. Fags, was it?
No, it's a statement.
Oh, well, look, can't it wait till I shut the shop? It's coming up to my busy time.
I'm due for a signing off soon. I'd like to get this wrapped up before I go home.
All right, fair enough. If you don't mind the interruptions, I don't.
I saw a woman leave the shop as I turned the corner this morning.
Woman?
Bring the Benson's, please.
Woman? Oh, you mean Reen?
Reen who?
Oh, I don't know. Comes in after the night shift. She's a fluffer.
What?
Fluffer. You know, she cleans out the tube stations, the track and that.
It sounds like men's work to me.
Tough old bird is our Reen. Mouth on her like a sewer, fresh to match.
I'll take it you don't like the lady.
No. And lady she ain't.
So, she'd be no use as a witness, then?
I just didn't see the kid, or so she said.
Well, you asked her.
Yeah. She, popped in lunchtime. She won't be much help.
So, it's down to you, then?
Yeah. Well, and you?
Me?
Oh, well, come on, Mr. Croft. You were here. You saw it happen.
Oh, did I?
Well, what have I got to do? Draw a diagram? The kid comes at me with a bottle and down I go.
Yeah, well, look, that's where I came in, wasn't it? You lying on the floor, him standing over you with a fistful of chocolate.
Well, there you are, then. What more do you want to know? 2 seconds earlier, you'd have seen him do it.
But it's still your word against his.
A spade? 2 seconds?
You're beginning to interest me, Mr. Coombs.
It's the truth, so help me.
2 seconds.
Look, you get some smart spade lawyer, them 2 seconds could be vital. You might even get away with it. Now, if you could just,
Nudge the truth along by a couple of seconds. I presume there'd be some inducement.
Eh? Oh. Oh, well, fags is expensive. Look, we've got to stick together. They're taking over.
Are they? Have you any idea what the penalty is for conspiring to pervert the course of justice, Mr. Coombs?
Well, who's going to know if we... I might have known. You one of them, ain't you?
One of what, Mr. Coombs?
I should have had you pegged for one of the bleeding art brigade. Get your orders from up top, do you? Go easy on the coons. Mustn't upset 'em, must we? Oh, no. See a spade mugging an old lady, do the old lady. Arrest her for hitting her head against his boot.
Right, shall we get on with your statement then, Mr. Coombs?
Ah, what's the use? You're not interested in the truth.
Oh, yes, I am. I am very interested in the truth. What have you got to worry about anyway, huh? The truth is going to put him away.
Eh?
Now, you say he hit you over the head with that bottle. Now, our forensic boys will come up with a set of his prints from the glass, won't they? And then you're laughing, aren't you?
You, seen Inspector Forbes?
Down in interview 1, sir, getting a statement from Mark Livesey.
Who?
Chap Croft collared this morning. He's juvenile, by the way.
Oh, why aren't you with her then?
His mum's down there with him. She doesn't like crowds.
Oh. Well, you know, Home Office recommendation. Give them every assistant, no cause for complaint. The Croft?
Out taking a statement, sir.
Fine. You, retyping that report?
Yes, sir.
Maggie, explain.
Too many long words. Bit flash.
Flash. You sure you don't mean meretricious?
No, I'll stick with flash, sir.
You're learning.
And there's nothing you want to add to this, Mark?
No, it's all there.
Anything you want to change or alter?
No, that's what happened. Do you want me to sign it?
I think you ought to wait till
I
David
want to
gets
sign
here.
it.
Well, there's really no hurry. I've got to get it typed out anyway. Now, would you like a cup of tea? You didn't have any lunch, did you?
Yes, please.
Can I stay with you?
Well, I don't see why not. I suppose you could do with a cup of tea as well.
Now, Mark, darling.
Sign it. Both pages. Here, here.
Never in the right place at the right time.
I think I was in the nick of time this morning, Mr. Coombs.
Yeah. Too bad you weren't in Brixton last year, wasn't it? Where were you when they bombed me out, eh? Where was your lot when they smashed all the windows and threw the petrol bombs in, eh? 14 years I had that shop in Mountain Road. Good customers. Most of them black. All of them had tick. They were the old ones, you see. Too proud to owe 10p at the end of the week. They always paid up on the nails, the young ones. I even know who did it. I could take you to their homes, but you're not even interested, and you talk about justice. You're a bastard, Mr. Croft.
You are one sick man, Mr. Coombs. You need help before you go over the edge. There may be charges. I'll be in touch.
And you could get your bloody cigarette somewhere else.
What's this word?
Read the sentence.
I had been out all night and I was...
Hungry. There. Is that finished?
Do you think it's true?
I don't know. Something he's not telling us. Just something.
Oh, cosy.
Peter was helping me through a statement. Your arrest.
Ah, I should have got back earlier. Saved you the trouble.
What?
You let the kid go.
How come?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to say that Coombs is an out-and-out villain, but he does seem to have a pathological hatred of young black people. Seems he fell over. An accident.
Ah, see what you mean. Well, this is the boy's statement, and I quote. The man saw me try to steal the chocolate and came towards me. I was frightened. I saw the bottle of soft drink on the counter. I must have panicked. I picked up the bottle and hit him on the head. He fell down. That's when the policeman came in and arrested me.
What the hell is he playing at?
I don't know. Yet.
I don't see you've got any problem. You simply drop all charges, drive the boy and his mother home.
There was the assault on PC line, sir.
Oh, come on. Throwing a dollop of baked beans and a couple of bangers hardly constitutes an assault with a deadly weapon, even if they were from our canteen. Send them home.
Sir, Bob said something earlier about the boy being tense. I'd like to have a word with him. I'd like to know why he confessed to something he hadn't done, and where did he go last night?
Now, don't get involved. Leave that to the social worker, Miss Hubble.
That woman, she's a disaster.
You sure this isn't just to satisfy your curiosity?
No, it's not. I'm worried about the boy. All right, today Bob got at the truth. Next time he may not be so lucky. It's almost as if he wanted to go to prison.
Do you think there'll be a next time?
I just don't know. Is it worth taking the risk just for the sake of a few minutes' talk?
Would his mother go along with it?
I think both his parents would prefer it to a visit from a social worker.
Okay, you got half an hour. I want a pair of them off the premises by 5:30 latest. I don't want either of them around when the old man gets here. Do you phone Oxford?
Yes, sir, he'd already left.
Already charging to the rescue. Now, I know this David Livesey is a crusader. Put me through the mincer at a seminar on policing methods a couple of years back. Last thing I need is a do-gooder with a severe attack of moral indignation rushing in here screaming unlawful arrest.
Ah, come on, Gav. Even the most rabid anti-police bigot would see that I had just cause.
Don't have to convince me, Bob. Still think it'd be a good idea if you went around when he gets here.
Right. What about Coombs?
Yeah, leave facts with me. We may prefer charges. Either way, we'll keep a beat on it. All right, Maggie, half an hour. And only if the mother agrees. And, like a word before you go home, yeah?
Yes.
Right, I'm off. He who fights and runs away. Oh, by the way, there was a phone call for you yesterday. I forgot. Ron Boyce.
It's all right, he phoned back.
Yeah, the only Ron Boyce I knew was an instructor, Hendon.
That's right.
All right.
You sure you don't want to stay and help me with the lifters?
No.
Aren't you even vaguely curious?
Oh, a couple of colour supplement liberals get a pasting. There's no big deal.
Oh, you're a hard man, Bob.
Yeah, there are some who wouldn't agree with that. I mean, Coombs, for example. He thinks I'm a member of the Bleeding Hearts Brigade. He should meet you. Aye. Oh, by the way, thank Steve for me, will you?
Steve?
Yeah, well, he was the one that put me onto Coombs. He's very observant, tell him. Thanks.
Oh, Peter. Please, will you sit down, Mrs. Libsey? Peter, if you could get another drop chair. Well, now, Mark, we've got a full statement from the newsagent. We won't be pressing any charges.
But I don't understand. What about Mark's statement?
I rather think Mark was a little confused.
You mean we're free to go?
If he wants to.
Well, of course we want to.
What about the assault, the PC?
Well, I think we can forget about that. Of course, if you'd like to tell me why you made that statement.
Come on, Mark. We're going home.
I'd like to try and explain if I can. And I'd like a wash, please.
A wash?
I've been up all night and here all day. I feel a bit sticky.
Mark, we're going home. You can have a nice hot bath.
A wash will do for now.
Peter, can you take Mark?
This way, Mark.
Thank you.
I'm glad of this opportunity to talk to you, Mrs. Livesey. I rather think that's why Mark arranged it.
Oh.
You must realise that your son is deeply disturbed about something. I mean, why else? Well, why else would he make a false statement?
I don't know. You tell me.
Does he often spend the night away from home?
No, not often. But when he does, it's with friends. We always know where he is.
That's why you were so worried today.
Well, of course.
But you only reported him missing just before we got there this afternoon, and he had been missing all night.
Well, I didn't know he was missing till I came home at lunchtime.
And your husband?
Well, my husband was in Oxford all day yesterday in court. He spent the night at the Randolph. Well, I left crack of dawn this morning. I didn't think that there was any point in waking Mark so early.
No, I see. You go to work?
No, not as such. I belong to a group who run a sanctuary for battered wives. We were faced with eviction. I was there all day yesterday. I had to get the food in and organise the sit-in. Well, actually, I never got home till about 2 in the morning. I didn't think that there was... Well, I naturally assumed that Mark would be in bed.
Yes, I see. What happened?
When I got home at lunchtime, Mrs. Baker told me that Mark's bed hadn't been slept in. I rang round all the friends I could think of. None of them had seen him. So I rang the police. Look, is this relevant?
It could be.
You don't think much of the police, do you?
Why do you say that?
False statements, false names and addresses. You must think we were a right bunch of nanas.
Not at all. That inspector got that man to tell the truth. I was very surprised.
Didn't you think he could?
No. David and Paula were wrong. Justice can win over expediency.
How old you say you were?
I'm only like a parrot, really. I hear that sort of talk all the time at home.
You fit?
Fine.
Oh, sir, this is Mark Livesey.
How do you do?
How do you do? You will apologise to that PC for me, won't you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You're more or less accusing me of neglecting Mark.
Oh, no, Mrs. Livesey, I'm not. I've seen neglected children. No, I'm not saying that Mark is neglected. It's just that he seems very unhappy. Oh, feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
Right.
Right, ma'am, I've got a report to finish.
Okay, thanks.
Oh.
Right.
Well, Mark.
It's difficult to know where to start.
Well, look, Mark, you don't have to say anything.
No, I want to. I want to try and make some sense.
Look, Mark, why didn't you want us to know who you were?
I needed time. Frightening things had happened. I needed time to think about it. To try and make space around me. I wanted to know what my ideals were. That man in the shop, cross shouting, all of it. It was as if it wasn't happening to me, as if I was outside. I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense.
Let's take your time. You just go on when you feel you can.
Even when I knew I could be in trouble, I kept thinking of causes.
Causes?
Oh, we're a great family for causes. We collect them like stamps. Save the world, stop the tour, ban the bomb, free the dissidents. Every week there's a new one.
Oh, David and I are very active. We believe strongly in certain things. Well, we naturally wanted to involve Mark in our beliefs. Well, it's only natural. You're our son.
That doesn't make it right. Always another demo, another campaign. Something new to worry about. When I was little, you took me to a demonstration in Trafalgar Square. I didn't know it was Trafalgar Square. I just saw a big crowd and a man standing, shouting into a microphone and shaking his fist at a tall building. You and David were clapping. But I didn't know what it was about. I didn't know it was South Africa House. I didn't know what apartheid was. I knew it was cold. I could see my breath. It was cold.
You're only 7 and you remember all that time.
I remember the cold.
You see, we wanted to involve you.
You were so busy, rushing about, putting things right. You haven't got time to let me decide how I feel about things. You say, this is good, that's bad. You stick all your ideas on me, you nail them on me. It's all right for you. David was always so sure. Don't look at me like that. I'm not trying to hurt you.
Have we ever done anything, involved you in anything that you didn't believe in?
Some things, sometimes.
Well, what things? When?
I thought of one this morning. Henage Road.
What about Henage Road?
There's a big old church there. The local council wanted to pull it down. It was ugly. It would have cost a fortune to restore it, but there we were with our placards. Save our heritage from the vandals.
They wanted to pull it down and build a car park. We had to try and save it.
Why? All that money spent to restore it, and what would you have? Another empty church. That's a busy shopping area. The people needed a car park, wanted one. I'm glad they got it.
Mark, have you often felt this way about the things that your mother and father do?
Quite often, yes.
Why have you never told them how you felt?
Because they've been so good to me.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. Have I said something wrong?
No, it's all right, Mark. Don't worry. Look, Mark, where were you last night?
Walking.
Walking? Where?
Everywhere, miles.
Walking? Oh, last night?
No, to start with, a friend of mine from school said he found a great club and asked me to go with him.
The club?
A reggae club in Brixton. So I went. I hated it.
Why did you hate it?
Because I didn't fit in. I couldn't understand what they were saying. Tried to join in, tried to make friends. They just laughed at me. Think I'm a freak. There's a boy there called Winston. At least he talked to me. For a long time. He said I was a white nigger.
Oh, Mark.
He was right. You and David lied to me. You always said that the color of your skin doesn't matter, but it does. When I look into the mirror, I see me, but who's that? Winston thinks I'm a white nigger. That man in the shop called me chocolate, Samba. He just thinks I'm a nigger. You made me think I was white. I don't know. Everyone's wrong, everyone's right.
Mark, if only you'd come home last night.
I didn't know where home was anymore. I told Winston about you and David. He said you only adopted me because I was black.
Oh, Mark.
Just thinks I'm another one of your causes.
You don't believe that. You don't really believe that. Mark, Winston can never know what it's like to be childless. But he was wrong. We didn't want a black child or a white child or a Chinese. We just wanted a child. But it's not that easy. You go to the authorities and you fill in forms and you wait a long time, years. And in the meantime, you're vetted, screened. You go to more meetings, lectures. You sit around and hope. You're sick with hope. And then, one day, if you're very, very lucky, you get to adopt a child. And we were lucky.
Yeah.
I'm off. You said you wanted to talk to me.
Yeah. It's the latest attempt from young Phillips. I think he's got the message. It's strictly cat set on the map.
You look bushed.
Yes, I am.
How'd it go?
All right. At least they're talking. That's a start. Young Phillips is driving them home.
You fancy a drink?
No, I better not. I'm driving. Anyway, the way I feel, one wouldn't be enough. Don't let me stop you.
No, I don't. I've still got Mr. Livesey to see if he really needs to catch one whiff of that on me breath. I'd be a drunk as well as a fascist.
Oh, I think he'll be all right. He may slang you off a bit, but you know, Mrs. Livesey was quite grateful at the time they left.
Was? Good.
So, you said you wanted a word.
Yeah, well, it was just that I managed to get back in time to have a drink with Steve, and we had a bit of a talk.
About Hendon.
How long you known?
That he'd actually applied this afternoon. Yeah, Ron Boyce gave me a bell.
I knew someone would be in touch.
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a blow. I should have recognised the signs. Heavy hints from Jake. Even Phillips mentioned it in the car, going over to the Liveses. And now Steve sounded you out. Seems to have talked to everyone except me.
Well, I think he intends to get around to that tonight.
Oh, great. That's all I need, a stand-up fight.
Does it have to be a fight? No, it's just... I had the same situation, only in reverse with my eldest. I wanted him to go in the force. Call it vanity, if you like. He wanted to go in the Navy. We had one hell of a shouting match. I really put my foot down. He went to Dartmouth. He's doing very well.
What does that prove?
Well, sometimes they do make the right choice, even if we can't see it. Look, Maggie, I was a bit hard on Steve. Go easy, eh?
Thanks, Bill. I'll handle it. Oh, I'll have to. Now. Why didn't you tell me?
All right, so I'm telling you now.
Yes, after you've talked to everybody else at the Nick, after you've already applied. No discussion, just like that.
There's nothing to discuss. I want to go to the police training college and that's it.
Oh, and my feelings on the subject just don't matter, I suppose.
Oh, I just didn't want an argument.
Why does there have to be an argument? Can't we just talk about it?
A discussion would turn into a row and you wouldn't fight fair.
Fight fair? What does that mean?
Well, are you saying you wouldn't remind me what happened to Dad? That you'd already lost half your family to the job?
No. It's a powerful argument.
It's an emotional one. It's irrational and unfair. Well, it's a mother's argument.
Steve, I am your mother.
And what about Dad? I think he would have been proud.
What do you think? I'm not proud? Of course I'm proud of you. Even when you were just a toddler, you used to grab your dad's helmet and toddle around the room saying, I'm a policeman. God, we were proud of you even then.
Well, then I don't see
why
why
you... Steve, it was 15 years ago. The world's changed. The job's changed so much. Just before he died, your dad was worried about the violence. What do you think he would say now about petrol bombs and street riots?
I think he'd say that's all the more reason why someone's got to get out there and do the job and try and keep order. It's what he believed in. It's why he died. He saw the villains robbing that van, but he thought like a policeman. It was something he had to do.
Yes. He was a hero and I'm a widow. Oh, now, look, Steve, if you think you want to join the force just out of loyalty to your dad...
Oh, look, Mum, it's not that, I promise you. You only see the worst of what could happen.
I've already lived through the worst that can happen. I just can't face doing it a second time.
Oh, for God's sake, Mum, statistics show that more people get killed crossing the road in a day than police
I
in a year.
don't care about statistics, I care about you!
I want to go to Hendon, Mum.
All right, all right. I just hope that you go to university first. Just to give yourself time to find out who you are. What do you want?
Look, I can still go to university after my 2 years probationary period. And at the police force's expense.
You thought it all out, haven't you? Except for one thing.
What's that?
What do I do? What do I do when you're out on patrol duty? You know, a woman this afternoon said something about being sick with hope. That'll be me, won't it? Hoping I won't get a call from the hospital to say your ribs have been kicked in by some football hooligans. Hoping you'll come home safe and sound after a spell on night duty. Hoping I won't get another call from Russell's office like when your dad...
How the hell do you think I've been feeling for years? At least I know the pitfalls. It's my life, and you can't go on protecting me forever. You can't stop me from joining the force because of what happened to Dad.
Well, I had to try.
Yes. Look, I'm no hero. I'll keep my head down when it gets rough, I promise, okay?
Yes.
I'll see you about supper.
Right.
One thing you haven't thought of.
No?
My son, the Commissioner.